This episode is brought to you by SD Sober Living. If you or someone you know needs a safe, supportive recovery home, then reach out to SD Sober Living at www.sdsoberliving.org or call 619-334-9869. That's 619-334-9869. Come get some fuck fentanyl and some San Diego recovery at SD Sober Living. This is the Fuck Fentanyl guy letting you know if you or a loved one is injured in a motorcycle accident, then call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS for a free case evaluation. We are available 24/7. That's 1-800-LAW-TIGERS with over $1.5 billion recovered in verdicts and settlements. Nobody got your back more than Law Tigers. Hey everyone, I want to take a moment to talk about something really important: mental health and addiction. If you or someone you know is struggling with mental health or drug addiction, especially if they're facing chronic relapses or have a history of bouncing in and out of treatment centers, I want to recommend Baja Rehab. Baja is a premier lockdown treatment center located just 45 minutes from the San Diego border in beautiful Mexico. I've had the opportunity to visit their facility, and I can tell you firsthand, it's not only stunning, but also equipped with everything needed for recovery. They offer comprehensive medical detox and have a dedicated team of drug counselors and specialized therapists. If you are ready to take the first step towards healing, call Shalom, the intake director, at 619-855-6368. That's 619-855-6368. Your loved ones deserve a second chance, so don't wait until it's too late. Reach out to Baja Rehab today.
I wanna talk more, but I don't like to talk. Some of my longest conversations are inside my thoughts. Either that or I could put it in a song. But if we in the same room, I'm a wall made out of stone. Grew up in two different homes, you know that feeling all too well. When one got mad, they wouldn't talk, the other would just start to yell. I never realized that I had so much anger in me. Never lets me get to where I want to, like it's anchored in me. Tripping when I walk away and make it seem like it's the end. Cause every time I do it, adds a layer to the distance in between us. I don't mean it when I
Right. Man in the Making by EGR and Drew Alva. That's cool. I dig that vibe. All right, I'm Luis Romero. I'm the Fuck Fentanyl guy. This is the Fuck Fentanyl podcast. I got my homie Dakota here. How you doing?
Good, man. How you doing?
Good, man. I'm glad you made it.
Yes, sir.
That's fucking awesome, man. I was thinking about when I met you. Was it at at the service?
No, it was at the Freedom Ranch.
At the Freedom Ranch.
Yeah, you went to do this little, I think it was like a speaker meeting.
Oh, that's right. That was a while ago.
Yeah, and I was just...
Was that when I brought like my merchandise and I just gave it to you guys? Like it was like a box. Or was
Yeah,
that-
no, I think it was the time after that.
Oh,
'Cause,
okay.
They had mentioned that you had came through and did that, but I got kicked out of a rehab and they sent me to Freedom Ranch.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, from Pathfinder to Freedom Ranch.
Okay, now I remember. Now I remember.
It was like you and two other guys.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, my buddies.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so cool.
But
Okay.
it kind of set the tone, you know?
Really?
Yeah. You had, I think, for how long you had got, but you were taking time that day.
Yes, that might have been no, maybe 10. That could have been the 10 or 9.
I think maybe it was even 8.
Oh, was it 8? Okay. Oh, wow, that was a while ago.
Yeah, it was almost 2 years ago.
Okay. Because I'm 12 now,
Yeah.
so
Okay.
maybe like 10.
Okay.
It's hard, dude. It's so hard because my memory shot out when it comes to like certain things like that. But then I'll remember things in extreme detail. You know what I mean? Like there's no in between.
For sure.
You know, but that's cool, dude. Fuck yeah. So where'd you grow up, dude?
I grew up in Dad lived in Southeast San Diego, kind of like Skyline area, and then my mom lived in Spring Valley.
Oh no shit, Sprung Valley.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I went to my first NA meeting there.
Yeah.
Yeah, in 2010. Oh, almost 15 years ago. I don't think it's around anymore. But yeah, dude. So how was it like growing up over there?
Well, my dad can be pretty secluded, you know, over there in the Southeast area.
Yeah.
But when I was at my mom's house, she suffered from a lot of mental health, you know, schizophrenia, bipolar. So she was always kind of hiding from something that wasn't there. So it was just me and my little brother pretty much on our own living in a trailer park. And we kind of just did whatever we got to do. There's a lot of like outside environmental influence, you know, to my mom. I mean, I'm sure she was on drugs too. You know, she just did a good job at like not letting us see it.
Sure,
you know,
just
but I'm sure that was like one of the main issues. You know,
I feel it, but the mental health thing was definitely
so bad. It was so bad. You know, real poor. You know, we'd drive to school, and we wouldn't have money. We run out of gas, and we're searching through the car like for change.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Try to find any amount of change, and then like I'd have to run to the nearest gas station, fill up like a 2-liter bottle with like this much, like, you know, maybe like a quarter of a 2-liter of gas, and then put it in, and then we run out like not even 5 minutes later, and search for more change in the car, couldn't find it, you know, so I just end up having to track it to school.
Jesus.
Yeah, and then I go to my dad's house, and of course I couldn't let him know anything that was going on at my mom's house because he tried to take us away from her.
Yeah, and
he was an alcoholic, so
I see
that like he had a lot of mental problems too.
With it, right?
Yeah, it's just inevitable, you know. Alcoholism, addiction comes with mental problems. So
absolutely,
you know, so it was pretty rough.
Yeah,
for sure.
It can be great to grow up around that, and you end up following into that path as well.
Yeah, and it's kind of crazy how that happened because, you know, growing up, most kids are like, you know, I'll never if they don't like their parents, you know, I'll never be like that. You
be
know
the
what
opposite.
I mean? For sure. You know, like I would never, you know, let him be the example of exactly what I don't want to be.
Right.
You know what I mean? But what happened? I ended up becoming just like that, or if not worse. You know?
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, yeah, it's pretty gnarly, for sure.
I feel it. How old were you when you first started using and all that?
Oh, so I started experimenting with cigarettes when I was like 10 years old.
Oh, that's right.
And then
you were just saying that.
Yeah. So my mom. I'm just gonna be super transparent on here because
go ahead.
It's very important.
This is the podcast to do that.
So my mom had my mom was obviously, she was pretty much a single mom. She didn't have any family out here by herself.
Right.
All her family is from the East Coast, Massachusetts. So
got it.
We lived in a trailer park, and you know how trailer parks are in Spring Valley or anywhere really. They're just very everybody knows everybody.
Right.
You know, and as soon as someone sees someone that's like weaker, they prey on them. You know, and that's kind of was her situation. And her being from a small town, you know, in Massachusetts, she's very gullible, thinking everybody's her friends. Yeah. So, you know, she was beautiful, and she was sick, you know, and people would try to take advantage of that. So there's always guys coming in and out of my house, you know, couldn't pay rent, couldn't pay the electricity, but somehow she would always like have food on the table. I think my dad was more abusive, you know, and more. He was more. I just despised him. You know what I mean? Because of how abusive he was. Because it was such on like a personal level. Like my mom couldn't help it because she was sick. You know what I mean? But my dad was like, I don't know. He just chose to get drunk, and he chose to be like just the way he was. You know? Yeah. And it was just very hard. You know, and you know, like a man's supposed to be the protector. You know what I mean? Yeah. And supposed to be like, no matter what, you know, and we didn't have that in my life. And so like 10 years old, my mom's like, you're the man of the house. It's like, that's a lot to put on a 10-year-old. At the time, I don't know, that's abnormal, you know, that's what I know, you know. But yeah, so so she was sick, running from nothing. She'd be like hiding underneath the trailer. She'd be, I'd catch her coming out of the reservoir at 3 o'clock in the morning, you know, covered in mud, just running from things that's not there. You know what I mean? And she would, that happened for about 4 years. You know, my dad trying to take us away from her, but he didn't really know the details of it because we'd act like everything's okay. So like I'm ditching school when I'm at my mom's house, trying to get clothes so CPS doesn't notice we're wearing the same clothes every day. And like, you know, we're getting interrogated by CPS every day at school. And like, you know, it was just like this ongoing thing. And then finally she just couldn't take it anymore. And she just put us in the car, and she just dumped us off on my dad's doorstep, and she just took off. You know, didn't see her, you know. Just got in the car and just drove to Massachusetts. Drove to the East Coast in the middle of the winter. And so I had no idea what was going on, but now I'm stuck with my dad, you know. And so now I'm 14 years old. I'm angry, upset, don't know where my mom is. I'm going through this big identity crisis because I don't know who I am, what I'm supposed to do, you know, like and coming from a place where I could do whatever I want, you know, with my mom, you know what I mean? I'm stuck with my dad. I can't do anything anymore. Like I'm locked in, you know.
Complete opposite.
Yeah. And so he's like, you know, Dakota, you need to he has no idea how I'm growing up in my mom's house, but he's like, Dakota, you need to grow up rough, you know. You need to go through something so you can become a man. So like,
Whoa.
I'm not,
Really?
yeah, he's like, you know, you need to go through some hard stuff, you know. And I'm just like, and so he sends me. He's like, I'm gonna send you to Morris High School, and I just know like I want to go to Monta Vista because it was kind of like in a nicer area. You know what I mean? And it's like I grew up with kids at Spring Valley, you know.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, no, you're gonna go to Morris. I'm like, dude, okay. Like,
He wants to send you to like the toughest fucking high school.
so he sends me to this gang-infested high school. You know, I'm a white boy. You know what I mean? And I look like a white boy. You know, and
Sure.
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
I was
mainly,
like,
and like you know, it's mainly like black and Asian dominant. You know.
wow.
And so like he sends me there, and what do you know? Like I'm like I'm not one to let someone just bully me around, you know. So
Right.
So I'm fighting all the time. You know,
Yeah.
I'm getting into it, and like, you know, my grades aren't keeping up. I just can't do it, you know. And finally, like this group of kids kind of just they just adopted me, bro. These group of Asian kids, they just adopted me. They're like,
Really?
you know, just come with us. That's when I first started smoking weed. You know,
see.
I got introduced to the gang life at that time,
Sure.
and that's where my addiction started setting in. Started drinking and smoking weed every day.
Yeah.
You know.
You felt safe with these guys around. And
Yeah, it
stuff
was like
that.
they you know, when my dad was just being too much, you know, I would just leave and I would just go to school, ditch school, go straight to their house, you know what I mean? And their family would treat me like I was their kid, you know what I mean? And like it's like the family I never had, you know?
I see.
And I got introduced to the gang where it's like in Asian culture they're very big with like, you know, taking care of each other, you know what I mean? And
I
like
see.
they gave me the love that I felt was absent in my family, you know? And
see.
so I was drawn towards that. And pretty much that's where my criminal behavior, my addiction started, like real bad.
I see. I could see like how that kind of maps out. Like, you know, just like the home life sucks. So, you know, you're gonna go to over here.
Exactly. You know, like the home life sucked, so I saw school as like an escape. You know what I mean? Like, cool, yeah, bring me to school. You know,
Yeah,
yeah, let's go to school. You know,
right.
Like, I'll just get out of school and I'll just go to school and I'll just ditch the whole class. You know.
Yeah.
But then again, like I had my little brother, you know, and I couldn't just leave him hanging, so I would always have to come back home, you know.
I see.
And it was just real abusive. That's when me and my dad started physically getting into it, you know. I had a lot of built up anger with him, you know.
Yeah.
I felt like, you know, as soon as I was able to like kind of like go shoulder to shoulder with him, like, you know, size myself up a little bit, it was like, you know, what's up?
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
What's up now? You know, like,
Right.
you know, and so that just made our relationship worse. And now I'm drinking and smoking weed and yeah, grades. I'm failing school, you know, and out of the blue, my mom just comes back.
Really?
Out of the blue, she just comes back, boom, and I'm like, what is going on? So now she came back and like I'm just a whole different kid, you know.
Well, she has another kid?
She has my son.
Oh, I see.
I mean my son, my brother.
I see.
But she came back and I'm a whole different kid now. She doesn't recognize me or know how I am. I'm just I'm not that sweet kid anymore. You know, I'm like angry.
Yeah,
I'm
of
like
course.
16. I'm like almost 16 years old.
Yeah.
She's been gone for roughly 2 years. You know.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Wow. That's crazy. So you went from living with your dad to back to living with your mom, or just?
So my mom tried to like gradually. She got this little apartment in Lemon Grove.
Yeah.
And my dad was already kicking me out of the house all the time.
Right.
So he was trying to. So he, excuse me. My dad moved. So my dad, before my mom got out, my dad moved from. He moved from. Southeast. He met this girl, moved up to Sabre Springs, which is like Scripps Ranch.
Okay,
you know what I mean? And so he tried to like bring us up there.
Yeah.
But not didn't really work out like that. You know? I'm in like this rich area, you know what
right,
I mean?
right.
I'm like from like this. It was just I was like, what?
Yeah,
this is Disneyland, bro. Like,
right.
What?
Yeah, right.
You know, I'm like, what? Where are we at? And like this 2-story house, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like coming from the hood is like it was
right.
It was like a culture shock, you know what I mean?
For sure.
And then they got me going to like this really rich school, and
wow,
I went to Mount Carmel. It's like a whole culture shock, you know. And
that's hilarious.
I lasted about maybe like I want to say like 3 weeks.
3 weeks. Oh, okay.
You know, my dad was like, "Go back to your mom's house." I'm like, "Oh, okay." You know, so now I'm back with my mom. You know, in Lemon Grove, and back around my homies full fledged. You know, and they start coming to my house every day. You know what I mean? And I mean, we were already doing a lot of crime, you know, and stuff. But when I went up north, it kind of gave me a break from all that.
I see.
So when I got into it with my dad. So my brother stayed with my dad, and I went to my mom's, you know, and immediately I just got right back into it full fledged. Started smoking weed, drinking, doing other drugs, you know, and just kind of you know, just you know, just trying to block my reality. You know what I mean? Trying to just not live in reality. Try to change my reality, you know, and and so now I'm with my mom, and like now I'm angry at her, you know,
For sure.
super angry, you know, and I knew that there was like something else going on with her still, because she'd have episodes here and there, and like but you know, like I found some one of these days I just woke up and I just like, nah, screw that, like this can't be. I'm not just gonna act like everything's normal. I gotta figure out what's really going on. So like I find more dope, and that's when I started using.
I see.
So I was around like 16, 17 years old. And it was rough, you know.
Yeah.
From that point I was just like, you know, I was just angry at her. We didn't have a good relationship at all. I was always doing crime, and I was already dropped out of school. You know?
Okay,
Wasn't going to
up.
school anymore. Yeah, that was a wrap, you know.
Yeah.
Just but so I had got my first car when I was like 15. So before my mom had left, or right when around the time my mom had left, I had got my own car. I was young, and had my first gun at that time. You know, had like, you know, I was already on that grown man. Thinking I'm tough.
You're a man
and like,
now.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like no one could tell me nothing. You know.
Right.
So when she came back, immediately I started like just doing my own thing. Like I started doing like big crime. You know, like started doing like real things. You know, like just on wear my emotions on my sleeves, and I was just trying to hurt people, and just it was really bad. And long story short, I ended up catching my first case. I was like 2 months before I turned 18. I was living with my mom, and I ended up facing 27 years to life.
Really?
Yeah.
As a juvenile?
So I was they were trying to charge me as an adult. You know what I mean? But they didn't. It was my first time being in trouble, so
sure, yeah.
I ended up doing a lot of time for that. You know, almost 3 years. You know,
Really?
and then I beat the case, and then they just gave me a 27-year lid and a strike. You know,
Wow.
they let me out though.
27-year lid, huh?
And and they said if I commit one more violent crime in the next 10 years, boom, no matter what.
Right.
So, and it's crazy because you think I would have learned, you know, like, you know, but the disease of addiction is so powerful that, like, you know, it just didn't matter to me. You know what I mean? Like, I got out and I was like full fledged back in my addiction, like, 100% full fledged of my addiction. You know? Yeah.
After doing 3 years.
Yeah.
They booked you in the.
They booked me at the juvenile hall.
A juvenile hall.
And I'm already about to be 18, 2 months before I turn 18.
Wow.
So I did all of my time inside of East Mesa juvenile. You know what I mean?
No shit.
And it's crazy because I've been in jail my whole life, and like that was the craziest place to me. Like the most active place was like East Mesa Juvenile Hall.
Really?
Yeah, because there was at the time there was like a lot of the YA babies were there, and it was just I was like in I was a UC unit, so it was like all like the people committed like violent felonies and all that stuff. So it was just really active, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I've been in jail so many times, you know, and like there's just nothing, it was so violent in there, bro. You know? It was just a trip.
I've talked to a lot of guys. You know, I avoided juvie. I didn't catch no cases. I wasn't 20 years old when I caught my first one, but I've talked to a lot of people, man. Like they told me like they've done prison and shit, and they say that juvie and YA is like the worst.
It was the worst
because they're just everyone's like trying to be somebody. Everyone's, you know,
exactly. It was literally it was the worst, bro.
Dude, I can imagine, especially when you're young. You feel like you have nothing to lose.
Yeah, dude. Most of them were going upstate. Like we didn't really know where we stood. You know, I thought for sure I'm going to prison. You know what I mean? And like for a long time. So when but what had changed is I had got my own lawyer. You know.
I see.
And
well,
that helped. That helped. You know. And it was my first time being in trouble, and they pretty much got me for conspiracy to commit a crime. That was like my ending.
I see.
Yeah. Which could hold a lot of time. You know.
Yeah, absolutely.
So but I didn't learn my lesson, you know. I kept I went full fledged because I was still the years also was the transition from a boy to a man was in there, you know what I mean?
Sure.
And it was in the streets, you know what I'm saying? So it's like that was never like I never had like sure I played baseball when I was young, sure I went fishing sometimes, sure I did those things, but But in all reality, like my reality of being a man was like distorted from what was set in stone for me when I was a little kid. You know what I mean? It was like I had to protect my mom at all times because dudes are trying to get at my mom. I had to like stand up to my dad, the only person I'm supposed to look up to as a father figure. I had to be the father to my little brother, you know, all that, you know what I mean? It was like, so my I had such a distorted ideology of what love was and what being a man was, you know? And it's taken me so long to understand what it takes to be a man. You know, I'm 30 years old and I'm still finding it out, you know, and I'm still learning, you know what I mean? And that's why I chose that song in the intro, because it's like a man in the making, you know. I feel like I'm still a man in the making, you know. And
I feel that. I feel that to this day, to be honest.
yeah, you know. And I don't know. It's been a rough good. I was in my addiction for like 14, 15 years, you know.
I see.
And yeah, it just, I didn't know no other way. I didn't think there was another way of life, you know. I just accepted, you know. So when I was 23, I got shot.
Oh shit, really?
I got shot and almost died. My lower intestines were coming out.
Oh fuck, what'd they hit you?
What they hit you?
Where?
Oh, right here, my lower abdomen, like right above my crotch.
Oh fuck.
And so that had happened, and I minimized that. You know how we are in our addiction.
Sure.
We just minimize everything.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah. Ain't no big deal. No big deal.
Well, I didn't die. You know what I'm saying? I'm all right. You know, like,
yeah.
You know, so I minimized that. You know, I kept going on these streets, kept doing what I was doing. You know, and it, you know, like where I was at, like I'm pretty sure it's the same thing for most people in their addiction, but like, we're animalistic, you know what I mean? Super animalistic, super instinct, super impulse, you know what I mean?
Right.
There's no thought behind anything, you know what I mean? It's just boom, go, you know? And so I found myself in a lot of detrimental situations that I would put myself in. And so as time went on, I kept getting into situations, you know, I worked at a lot of underground casinos, you know, my whole criminal career. So
I see.
Those are very like dark, violent places as well, you know?
I can imagine.
And there's a lot of bad things that go on there. So I was used to that stuff. It was just like a normal day, you know.
Right.
What I mean? All that stuff, normal. You know what I mean? Right. Like, you know, I'm probably gonna wake up and die today. You know what I mean? That's just a thought that goes through my head.
Right.
All the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so 23, that happens. And then that happened when I was around my homies. But when I started using dope real bad, you know, I kind of had to branch away from my homies because they're like, bro, like you're smoked out. You know what I mean? Like, you got to stay away from us. You know what I mean? If you're gonna be smoked out like that, like you're just too unpredictable. You know,
it's a bad look for us.
I'm trying to rob everybody. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. It's an addiction. It doesn't matter how much I love somebody or care or respect somebody, because there's really no respect there anymore. You know?
Right.
And
couldn't tell what reality was anymore.
No, my reality was I just want what I want. You know, when I want it.
Right.
And if I had to hurt anybody that I love to get it, that's what it was gonna be.
I feel it.
And so I started losing all my friends, and then I end up full-fledged. Like the majority of the area that I was in my addiction was like southeast a little bit area, like Skyline, like Meadowbrook Apartments, but then Spring Valley was like my area, you know.
I see.
And boy, East County. East County, bro. Yeah, man. Shout out to East County.
Yeah, right.
And it was rough, bro. You know, and you know, just like the typical, you know, just robbing, stealing, and committing crime, going back to jail, getting out of jail, going to jail, getting out of jail. You know, and it just kept to the point where like, I was 27. I got hit in the back of my head by a Bowie knife 8 times and broke my skull.
Oh,
and
wow.
I had internal bleeding in the brain, and I almost died. And
oh my God. Dude.
And then, you know, it was like 26.
Wow.
That wasn't enough as a wake up call.
No way.
You know, I just know my drug addiction. It didn't matter. It was gonna be fatal, because I know like it's either I'm gonna die from the disease of addiction from like a fentanyl overdose eventually, or I was gonna die from, you know, just what happens in the streets. You know what I mean? It was like just inevitable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's crazy because I was 27. I was 27 years old, and I had my son. You know what I mean? I had a baby. You know, and that kind of changed it all for me. You know,
was it? Yeah.
It
like a wake up call.
Yeah, you know what I mean. And it was like I promised myself, like, oh, you know, you know, if I have a son, I'll never be like my father, you know?
Right.
Dude, I could not, for the life of me, get clean no matter how much I loved that kid or wanted to be a father. I could not, like, call me a dirtbag, whatever, but
Sure.
my addiction brought me to to the place where, you know, like, she's in labor and I'm in the bathroom smoking,
Yeah.
crying, don't know what to do, you know what I mean? Stuck, you know, asking for, please, God, take me out the situation.
Yeah.
I can't do it alone. I don't know when enough is enough. And I just could not get clean. And, you know, my son's mom she was on fentanyl and crystal and a whole bunch of other drugs the whole time she was pregnant,
seriously?
you know?
Whoa.
And, you know, I was in jail the majority of her pregnancy. So,
Yeah.
you know, it was like, you know, I had no sense of, no core values. I had no sort of value, to myself or anybody else. You know, I didn't, you know, cause, you know, she was pregnant and, you know, if after like around, I don't know, maybe like 5 months of using fentanyl, the baby becomes addicted too.
Seriously.
And so that you can't just stop using, you know what I mean? Like you have, if you withdraw and the baby withdraws, the baby could die. So, what am I doing? You know, and who's the one with the fentanyl sack? So I'm the one with the fentanyl sack. You know what I mean? I'm the one providing it. You know,
Right.
Man, it was just it's just a messy situation, bro. And like
terrible.
I just had no, like no, I don't know, bro. I had like nothing, no soul, you know, and like that's how the drugs got me. You know what I mean? And I just thought that was gonna be my life forever, you know, and it just came to the point where I was like, you know, I'm sitting in the hospital and I'm like, God, like I got 9 warrants, you know what I mean? Like I can't get clean, you know, like I need help, like, you know what I mean? And I can't do this on my own, you know, like please take me out of the situation. I know I never ask, I'm only angry at you, I only ask you, I only like, you know, talk down to you, whatever, but please hear me now, you know?
Sure.
And I promise you, it was like, the way God works is so funny, you know? Because the last thing I'm thinking is like, I'm gonna go to jail or something like that, and that's how I'm gonna get clean, you know. But you know, honestly, like it was maybe like a month after, or no, maybe not even a month. So CPS came, took my son from the hospital. I'm back in the streets for about maybe half a month.
Okay.
And I get caught up for all my warrants. God straight, and I was on the run for like 6 months, you know, like just could not seem to get caught, running from the cops, doing this, doing that. They just would not catch me, you know, and. Just this one day, bro, they got me, you know what I mean? And I'll never forget that day because I sat in the back of that cop car and I just had like this, like this sense of relief, like, okay, you know, like.
You're happy,
bro. You know, I was just at peace, you know, like, thank you, you know what I mean? Like, took me out of the situation. I don't know how I was going to go, you know, I know I had 9 felonies. I knew I had like probably some prison time over my head, you know, and I knew like, you know, I might not be able to be in my son's life for the first, I don't know, I would say 7 years of his life, you know, but I will be eventually back in my son's life when I get out.
Yeah.
And so I go to court. I'm in jail. I'm going to court. And they're like, okay, you have 7 years over your head. I'm like, okay. Expected.
Right.
Cool. And then I go to my next court date, and they're like, my judge goes, Dakota, we're going to try drug court. I was like, what's that? And he's like, Dakota, we're going to try drug court. It's this program of like, you know, it's intensive outpatient, but you might have a chance to get drug court. And I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Boom, like a little glimpse of hope. You
Sure.
know?
Yeah.
So I'm like, so I was in jail for like, usually like you get sentenced to drug court pretty quick and then they clap you and then you go to rehab real fast. But I had like my cases were like a sensitive cases. I had like 5 grand theft autos, a gun charge, and then like a half pound of meth. You know?
I see.
So they take me in and I'm keep going to court, and then they're like, you know, no, drug court won't qualify you. And so I'm like, I always did not give up on that. I'm like, nah, screw that. Like I'm gonna come back to court. We'll see if I can keep coming back to court and keep trying to get that offer on the table, you know. And it was like my 6th court date. I'm in there and they changed my judge to this Asian judge, the drug court judge.
Really?
Right. And so I'm sitting there and I'm like, what is going on? He's like, Dakota, okay, check it out. The whole drug court team, the probation, everybody does not want you. I'm like, damn it.
Yeah.
Okay. And then they're like, but the judge has been sentencing you since you were 23 years old. I'm like, she knows you. I'm like, okay. She's like, she's willing to give you a chance.
Wow.
Bro, I broke down immediately. Cried. Wow. You know what I mean? I was just breaking down like, no way, you know? There's no way, you know what I mean? That's exactly what I was asking God for, you know? Just give me, like, chance. I can't do it on my own. Please give me help, you know what I mean? And so I go to court. I see the judge. She's like, come back next week. You're gonna get screened, and you know, if they want you in drug court, then we're gonna accept you. So I get screened, and it goes really well. I get clapped in a drug court. I'm like, boom, cool. A month later, I get out and I go to Pathfinders. And immediately, as soon as I get to Pathfinders, I hit up the CPS worker. Boom, start getting visits with my son.
Wow, that's
right
awesome.
away, you know.
Yeah.
And cool, you know. I thought like, cool. I'm like, all right. Well, I'm not gonna be on drugs anymore. That was the only problem. I'm perfect, fixed. You know what I mean? No more problems. Wasn't the case, bro. You know,
what?
Drugs was just how I dealt with all my problems. You know what I mean? It was drugs was just how I dealt with me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. It was your solution.
Exactly. You know, and that was tough, man. I go to Pathfinders, but I still want to do everything my way. I still didn't want to put full effort in the program. I still wanted to believe that I knew everything. I still wanted to believe that, you know, as long as I get off of drugs, I'll be a stand-up dude. Because I know that the core values that my mom set when I was a little kid, you know, like, you know, I still had those. I was still a good guy somewhere in there, you know what I mean? Sure. Me not being on drugs anymore was going to bring that out of me. Like,
right.
No, it was not the case. You know, it was not the case.
Not automatically.
Not at all, you know? And so I ended up, I'm at Pathfinders, but I'm still doing things my way. So it was like 10 days left in there, and they're like, we can't have you here anymore, bro. They called drug court, like, we're kicking them out of Pathfinders.
What?
Yeah.
Why? Why are they kicking out?
Well, because like for one, I kept like doing small permissions. You know, they let me go on pass, and I wouldn't come back on time. You know what I mean? And like I had a stay away order with my son's mom, and I would still go see her. You know what I mean? And,
of course.
And, you know, and like I still would just be around all the bad shit when they would let me go on pass. And
I see.
I was still focused on trying to get what I want.
Sure.
Right now, you know what I mean? But I was on a super pink cloud because I'm like, okay, look, I look at it because when you're addiction, I'm not looking in the mirror because I hate myself. So like when I started getting clean, I'm like, okay, hold on, I'm kind of handsome. You know what I'm saying? Like start loving
feeling yourself.
I'm on this pink cloud, you know what I mean? And like, just riding this wave, you know. And, and so they're like, Dakota, you need to go. We're sending you, and like, you know, the program director of drug court was like, Dakota, you know, we could just send you back to jail.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And that's usually what we would do. You know?
Right.
But, how about this? We'll send you to Freedom Ranch.
Oh.
I was like, nah, I didn't want to do it.
Nah.
And so everything inside me was like, just run, you know? Just like, fuck it, just run.
Right.
But I didn't, you know? They sent me to Freedom Ranch, and like, something about that place, bro.
Yeah.
Something about that place right there, just like, I don't know. That's when I first started developing a relationship with the higher power. I don't know what it was up there. It's like maybe the nature of the being secluded. I don't know what it was about being up there.
All of that.
You went to the Freedom Ranch too,
I
right?
did. I'm an alumni. I went there in 2013.
Man, so like I'm there, and like and it's going good, right? And so I was at Pathfinder for 60 days, and then maybe 70 days, and they sent me to the Freedom Ranch, and I was able to like, you know, I was very smart, and I always had like good lip service, so I knew how to like make myself look good. So I built like this super good relationship with my counselor there. Cool. And he's like, pretty much I got him convinced that like, you know, I don't need to be at the Freedom Ranch anymore. I'm ready.
Oh, good.
I'm ready.
You manipulated him
for sure. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready for the world, you know.
All right.
And so he kept talking to the program director at drug court, and he's like, man, this guy's ready to go. Bro.
Oh,
like,
okay.
He can't. He's been here for 22 days, and there's nothing we could really do for him here.
Oh, wow, 22 days. Killed it.
Yeah, killed it. You know what I mean? And so drug court was like, all right. So can't believe it. They're like, all right.
Wow. They let you out in less than a month?
Less. So I went, because it was like really like I try to be like, you know, I was at Pathfinders for 70 days.
I see.
20-something days. That's 90-day program, bro.
Right.
No,
Got you.
It was so detrimental to me. You know what I mean? And so I got out, and I started going to my sober living, and what I do, I start hitting up my baby moms again. Start going back around all the same people.
I see.
I'm still going to trap houses, still going to underground casino, still doing everything. Nothing's changed except for the fact that I was clean.
Yeah,
you know
you're
what
just
I mean?
not picking up.
And so I was just going to drug court all the time and just tell them everything they wanted to hear, you know?
Sure.
But I'm
right. That's what we do.
Your higher power, when you ask your higher power to help you, you know, and I'm gonna never forget, like, me asking, like, please do not let me play myself, you know? I was real genuine at that moment when I'm begging for him, you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
But I didn't mean for you to, like, hold me that accountable, bro, you know what I'm saying? You know, so, like,
just a little bit.
You know, like, so every time, like, I just needed you to hear me out right then and there, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
Get me out of this bind.
Yeah, but then, like, he saw plans for me, bro. He just would not let me, so I'll get out, and for like a month and maybe in a month and a half, I'd get out and I'd be an outpatient. I'd be doing whatever. But
sure,
as soon as, like, you know, things would just come up. You know, and my motives never matched my intentions.
Right.
Which means my actions were not adequate. You know what I'm saying? My actions were. There's no substance to them, you know what I'm saying? So they just weren't matching. So drug court caught onto it real quick. Like,
I see.
You know, okay, well, you violated stay with order because we know you're seeing your baby mom. That's a terminating offense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah.
You popped a false positive or whatever. Like a 0.01 for meth.
Really?
I mean? Or was it for fentanyl? One of those. You know what I mean? It's just because I'm around at the trap house and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so they're like, they locked me up.
Mm-hmm.
They locked me up. They try to separate me, you know. They try to send me to crash. So they sent me to crash on Marlboro Street, right?
Serious?
So they sent me to crash, and I'm there for like 9 months, right? And
whoa, really?
Or not 9 months, 9 days, excuse me. I'm there for 9 days, and I start still talking to my baby moms, though. You know what I mean? See. And so every time I would go out on a pass, I just have her meet me, and we just like do whatever, you know.
Right.
And I went to crash, and then after 9 days, I'm like, I'm out of here. Went on a run. Boom. So went on a run, you know, and you know, because I still had a little itch in the back of my head of like, how would it be if I smoked dope again? You know what I mean? Would I miss it? Would I like it? You know what I mean? Like
the reservation.
You know, I'm telling you, as soon as I took that one hit, my misery is refunded to me immediately. Immediately.
Damn.
I've never been that miserable in my whole entire life, you know.
Dude.
Now I'm back on the run. I'm running from the cops. I swear to God, I hit the pipe one time and I felt like I lost 30 pounds. You know, I looked in the mirror.
Maybe you did.
Yeah, for real though. I was sucked up. Like, it was miserable and like, but I know the program worked for me for a little bit because, you know, like I was fine. I was blocking it out, you know, but the moment I saw my mom, the moment my eyes met my mom's eyes, I broke down immediately. You know what I mean? And I had those emotions, which I never felt before, you know? Right. So I knew I was just like, damn it, like, I messed up, you know? Like, no more visit with my son. Like, no more of this. I messed up, you know? But I could not turn myself in. I just didn't have that inside me. So I went on a run for like 2 or 3 months. I ended up getting caught up with more charges.
Oh, great.
So now I'm back in jail, you know?
Wow, dude.
And I had about 6 months clean at that time.
I see.
Before I had went on the run, you know, went to crash. I went to crash still clean. You know what I mean? I went to crash clean, but then when I went on the run, I had relapsed obviously, and you know, I caught a couple more Grand Theft Autos, and and I don't know what had happened, but the judge, I saw the judge, and the judge is like, you know, Dakota, I'm gonna dismiss those charges and keep you in drug court. I'm like, well, I just couldn't believe it, you know, like, but you know, this is your last shot. So I go to Nosotros. They sent me to Nosotros.
Oh yeah.
And man, I loved that place. It was like, you know, I didn't have that itch anymore of like, you know, I want to be clean, but still at the same time, I never worked on any of my behaviors, you know. So I still wanted to be clean. I didn't want to get high anymore. I went to Nosotros, and that place, there's not too many groups, but they give you enough time to do a lot of self-reflection, like the whole day. You're pretty much like, you know, I learned that I love to read. I learned that I love to write. I learned that I love, you know, you have so much time to find out what you like to do there, you know?
Right.
And you kind of get to sit with yourself a lot right there. And it kind of set the tone for me. I love that place. I visit that place 2 times a week.
Really?
Yeah, it's still to this day because.
Oh, nice, dude.
You know, they set the tone for me, you know, and I really respect that place, you know?
That's awesome. I almost went there, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I fucked it up.
Like we always do.
Yeah, you know, I wasn't ready. They were trying, dude. They got the van, bro. They like pulled up because like my connect lives across the street from the Nosotros.
No,
right across, like literally just right directly across, bro.
Damn it.
And they saw me walking up the hill, and they're like, "Hey," I had did my intake with them, and then it was like 2-3 days later, and they saw me walking up the hill, and they knew, they saw the walk, they know what's up, and then they're like, "Hey, Lise, we're gonna get you in," because I was on the waiting list, or at least we're gonna get you in right now, just don't go where you're gonna go.
You're like,
and I'm like, I'll meet you guys up a little later. I'm just gonna, and they're like, "Where are you going right now?" And I'm like, "I'm just gonna go to my friend's house right here." "Oh, we know that's the dope house." And I'm like, "Fuck, man." And I'd never, I went to the went to the pad. I got high and I fucked off, and then I ended up going to crash. Like 2 months later, because I was about to get broken off with my little term they were giving me. It was like my court date was August like 30th, 31st, and then August 16th I went to crash just to avoid, getting my term. You know what I mean? But yeah, I went to Los Otros, and I really wanted to do it, but I just wasn't ready. You know what I mean? I was just like, when I get going, I just, I'm just like animalistic, like you said. It's like I can't stop.
Yeah. Yeah. We're hijacked, man.
Yeah,
Our brain
exactly.
gets hijacked, bro. And,
Right.
it's like, it doesn't matter, That's like the biggest thing for me is like, being an addict, I will always strive to get what I want. You know what I mean? What I want is never what I need. You know what I mean? It's never what I need. What I want will always be shortly lived. I might get high, but my high is gonna go away. You know what I mean? I might want to have sex right now, but then I'm gonna be done having sex.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then
Right.
and really, whenever I strive to get what I want, I end up in a jail cell every time, no matter what.
Yeah.
It's very
Yeah.
shortly lived.
Right.
And so, I've had like this huge perspective change of like, if I can just want what I need, you know what I'm saying? If I
Right.
can just like transfer my way of thinking to like wanting what I need, you know what I mean? Because I know
Right.
I will always search for what I want.
Right.
But if I can want what I need, which might take a little bit more work to get there, you know
Absolutely.
what I mean? It'll change the game for me, you know what I mean? Because what I need is something that'll last, you know what I'm saying? What I need is something that's long term. And usually when I get what I need, you know what I mean? It has longevity with it, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I'll have it for a while, you know what I mean? For a long time. And the thing that I love that us addicts have went through,
Yeah.
which is like, this is something that's so priceless to me, is we have felt how it feels to be without, so the feeling of being without, when we actually get what we need and we obtain things, relationships, trust, materialistic things, anything, you know what I mean? Really,
Yeah.
we value that stuff, you know what I mean? I'm not saying other people don't, but once you feel how it feels on nights and nights on end to be without that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
To actually have it, you know what I mean? The right way, I tend to value it a lot more,
Absolutely, dude.
And so it's funny, like, so I go to Nosotros.
Yes. Yeah.
I go to Nosotros, and I completed 3 months, did it great right there,
Awesome.
But I'm still stuck on like, I had a female that was there for me the whole time I was there, and like I was caught up in her, so I still had all these codependency problems and all that.
See.
And but I had already started building this great relationship with my son. Still was getting him back. Never, always had that. I knew that like I couldn't give up, because as long as I had that fight to get my son back, like. I could stay clean. You know what I mean? And
Right.
so I get out of Nosotros, and I'm telling you, I got out, man, and I was out for about a month.
Okay.
And what happens, I'm still working on my own small permissions, doing what I want, my own self-will, doing things my way, giving lip service to all the counselors, telling them everything they want to hear.
Yeah.
Same things, you know what I mean?
Right.
And I get caught up for driving without permission, and something else. And they locked me up. They're like, you're gonna be in there for an 8-day sanction. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
that's cool. I can do 8 days.
Yeah.
Nothing. Cool.
Standing on her head. Yeah.
I come back to court. Like, no,
Well-
probably not. You know what I'm saying?
Whoa.
We're probably gonna send we're sending you to crash. I was like,
Ah.
again? I'm like,
Yeah.
I just got out of rehab. Like, it's clean. I'm always going back to rehab clean.
Right.
But it's like, because man, it's not, drugs is not your problem anymore. You know what I mean? It's an issue.
Sure.
But it's not your problem. Like,
Right.
you are your problem. You know what I mean?
I
And you
see.
need to go somewhere where you can work on your behaviors.
Damn.
So,
Behavior modification.
perfect place. Shout out to Crash.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because honestly, that place saved my life. I went to Crash, and
Yeah, dude. That's awesome.
where we come from, we don't surrender. We don't know what that is. That's like, I don't throw no white flag. That's like against my beliefs.
Sure.
But when I went there for like the first week, so I'm sitting in jail,
Yeah.
And they're like, you know, you can either finish. You only have 4 to 6 months left of your sentence.
Okay.
And you can max out, and then you're done. And so I'm like, I'm going through this I'm like going through it in my head, like, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? You know. And so I think I'm just gonna max out. That's what my addiction mind is telling me. Just max out, bro.
Right,
screw drug court, screw all that. Just max out. You know what I mean?
Right.
But then I don't really know if I'm allowed to do this, but like Saul,
Yeah.
Figueroa, an angel, bro. I'm telling you, he's getting clapped in the drug court, right? So he's coming into drug court. I don't even know him.
Okay.
So like
first time meeting him?
First time seeing him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we're in the court talking to the judge, like behind the little gate right there, and he sees me going through with my attorney, and he's just right there, and he's like, bro, we're just gonna do it together.
Really?
We're just gonna don't give up. We're just gonna do it together. I'm like, bro, I'm turning around like, you don't even know what you're talking about, bro. Like, I've been here for a long time, like, you know. But he kept talking in my ear, like, don't give up. You know, I love you. I'm like, I don't even know you.
Yeah,
dude. You know what I mean? Like, we're in jail, homie. Like, what are you even talking about, dog? You know, like,
funny.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know, he's like, woof, you know, I love you, bro. Like, don't give up. I'm like, damn it, dude. Funny. But then so they sent me back to my jail cell or the cell, the holding tank, to like, so I can come up with the decision.
Yeah.
And I don't know, dude. Like his voice kept coming in my head, you know. Really? And like, I went back into the courthouse, talked to the judge, and I was like, you know what? Give me crash.
Wow. Okay.
Give me crash. You know, I'm not giving up. You know, give me crash. You know, and so he's like, and while he's telling me we'll do it together, I'm like, you know, the odds of us getting out at the same time and going to the same rehab, and like, you know,
yeah,
like,
right. That's never gonna happen.
Like, it's never gonna happen, bro.
Never gonna happen.
You know, but whatever, you know. And so that had happened, and I get out, and I want to mention this too because it's very important. Because they're like angels in my life too, for sure. So before, when I was at Nosotros, before I went to crash, for that little month I was out, I went to one Dollface Club meeting.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I met Travis and Clay right there.
Yeah.
They like pretty much, I want to say at that moment in time, bro, they like adopted me spiritually. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you know, I had a long conversation with Travis, and it made recovery look so attractive to me. You know what I mean? And, and I just fell in love with them immediately. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so fast forward a little bit, I'm in jail.
Yeah.
And so like when Saul was telling me all that, you know, in the court tank, I'm thinking, and then like Travis and Clay had popped into my mind too, you know, and you know, we don't give up, you know, we're not gonna give up, you know, but that's not what's in our nature, you know. They was in the back of my head, and you know, I was like, you know, like, I don't know, they for some reason, like, they just kept popping up in my head, you know.
I see.
I end up taking crash, and I get to crash, and I get there, bro, and I'm like, damn it, I want to leave so bad. You know what I mean? So bad, bro. Like, I wanted to leave so bad, bro. Like, I'm like, okay, you know, I want to leave so bad. But it's funny because when I first went to crash, who's the first person I see when I walk into crash? Saul. You know what I mean?
That's hilarious.
I told you, me all we're dudes together.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. And like,
the ultimate hype man.
He's an angel, bro.
Yeah, he is.
I love that man to death, for real. And so I get there, I do crash, and I just ask God, I'm like, you know, please, like, lift this obsession from me of wanting to do things my way, please, you know. And I swear to God, the next morning I woke up, no urge to leave, no nothing. I just surrendered that day, and started working on myself every single day, you know, digging deep, sharing my testimony to all the other people, you know, all the trauma, everything that I was going through. I really put in work at that place, you know. And what do you know? Like, before I got out, like, I was like, all right, Dakota, you know, if someone can ask you, you know, who you are as a man, what could you tell him, you know? And so I'm thinking, like, well, I can't tell him I'm a good man. Right. I can't tell him I'm honest. I can't tell him I'm trustworthy. Like, who am I as a man, really? Right. You know what I mean? And I remember, like, talking to Travis before I went to crash, and, you know, he was talking about, like, core values and spiritual principles and all those things, you know? And so I was like, damn it, like, when I get out of crash this time, you know, I'm gonna act like I'm reborn, and I'm just gonna set some core values, and then I'm gonna stand on that. You know what I mean? Right. I'm gonna stand on those. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna act righteous, and I'm gonna act, and I'm gonna I'm gonna make sure my motives match my intentions, and I'm just gonna do right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And be all those things. You know. And so I get out and I start standing on business, standing on core values. And it's funny because I get out and drug court's like, guess where you're going? You're going to Crooked Saints.
Oh,
boom! I'm
cool.
like, God, right there.
Right,
you know? and
absolutely.
As soon as I went there, I'm like, damn, man, I feel like I'm somewhere where I belong. You know what I mean? Like, and I feel like that was the most important thing since I was a kid. It was like wanting to belong. You know, I wasn't a part of my family, so I made a new family with my gang. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's awesome.
You know, I started just fighting so hard to belong to something. You know, and it was right there, man. I went to Crooked Saints, and that just set the foundation. You know, that community, bro, is amazing. Bro. It's awesome. I love them. You know what I mean? It just set the tone for me. You know what I mean? And that little cliche where they say, you know, like you put, if you put like a fraction of the energy that you put into your addiction, into real life, you know what I mean? You'll see results. You know,
immediately.
So I did that. You know what I mean? I started doing that. I just started doing like everything I was supposed to be doing. Everything I was suggested. You know, if it was anything I had to do, if it had anything to do with doing things my way, nah, I'm not gonna do it. You know what I mean? Not doing it. You know. So I surrendered. You know, and I started to really just do everything I was supposed to be doing, and it's crazy how fast things start coming together. You know.
Yeah.
And long story short, I'm at Crooked Saints, and I'm there for a little bit, and I never had a job before.
Oh,
I got my first job at grocery outlet.
Oh, cool.
You know,
was it with Brittany?
Yeah, it was over there in downtown. I was with Courtney.
Oh, Courtney.
Yeah,
I know Courtney.
Courtney, and that was my first little job. It was a part-time job.
Yeah.
Things started going really well. Drug court, you know, just doing everything I was supposed to be doing, going to meetings, doing a bunch of outreach things with like Crooked Saints and Dollface Club, just being present, and
it's so awesome. Those are awesome. I love how they fellowship so much and make recovery look like really cool and fun.
Yeah, and it's crazy. It's crazy, bro, because I had met a female, you know, my girlfriend now, you know, and
I see.
she was there for me. The whole time I was at Crash, you know, she would visit me every 2 weeks. She was like,
oh, really?
She didn't even know me like that, bro, but she was there for me 100%. You know, she became like my best friend, you know, and you know, we would just we get out, and then she's Dollface, you know, so we just did everything together, you know.
Yeah.
We were just friends for the longest time, and then she ended up. I fell in love with her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you know, I started loving myself, which made me able to, you know, my vision of what love is no longer distorted. You know what I mean?
Right.
So when I was able to love myself, I was able to like healthily love somebody else. You know what I mean? And yeah, bro. It just I don't know. Life changed. I kind of wanted to touch on this too.
Sure.
So you know, because I caught those, I started setting core values, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had the gift of desperation to get clean 2 years ago. I want to get clean. I'm desperate. Yeah, boom. I was gifted with that. Cool. You know, but that wasn't really enough. You know, it did get me going. But as soon as I started setting those core values and started standing on those things, doing the right thing, I was then gifted with the gift of conviction. You know what I'm saying? So now every time I'm about to do something wrong, do something my way, I feel convicted in my heart, and I don't want to do that anymore. You know what I mean? It makes me feel like I'm doing the wrong thing. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's what's been giving me the strength to stay on this road. You know, is just that having that conviction in my heart. You know, of like, you know, don't do anything wrong, bro. Don't do anything bad. Yeah, I'm not perfect. You know what I mean? But I fight real hard every day to just do the right thing. You know, and now I work at La Jolla Recovery with other.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I love that, dude. It's like, it's the most rewarding feeling, you know what I mean, in the world, to just see the light bulb go on in some of these people's heads, you know, and just have to be a part of that, you know. It's just like the best feeling in the world. There's no high like that. And you know, I'm doing step work, you know. I grew a relationship with the intimate relationship with the higher power, you know. I just got off probation.
But
I haven't been off probation.
Oh, dude, best feeling ever,
bro. I just got off, you know, and like this week. You know,
this week. Oh, here, dude. Here, there you go. You get a little plus. yeah. That's awesome.
I've been off probation since I was 17 years old.
I was about to ask that. Damn. So 13 years? 13?
My whole adult life, you know.
God damn.
Never been off probation. You know. And so it's crazy because, like, you know, when I was first in drug court, I was like, you know, if my probation ends, I'm out of here. You know, I'm not doing drug court anymore.
Yeah.
You know? But that's not my mindset anymore, bro. It's like, my probation ends, and I'm staying in drug court. I'm not just gonna leave. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm doing myself a disservice.
I see.
I don't want to. I want to see it all the way through.
You want to commit to the graduation and all that.
I want my word to mean something. If I say I'm gonna do something, then I want to do it. You know what I mean? And I want to finish it. You know what I mean? And
I see.
And I feel like it's a very important part of my testimony. You know what I mean? It's like, a lot of us are court mandated to do things. And cool. Sometimes we need that to like get the ball rolling. Have some accountability.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's also very important when I share my testimony to know that like it's not gonna be like that forever, and it's at a time in your life it's gonna be an actual choice where you're holding yourself accountable now. You know what I mean? And you have to stand on those choices, and choose to do the right thing. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm doing. I'm gonna be graduating drug court maybe in 6 months. So
nice.
It's an 18-month program, bro. But I've been there for 25 months.
And that's common. That's dude.
And I'll be there for probably about 32 months in total,
Really?
Before graduating, but it's worth it,
Yeah.
And just that perspective change of like, it's not something I have to do, it's something I get to do now. You know what I mean? That's like huge, And I'm just excited, bro, And it's crazy because I'm on the podium at court, and I'm like, I just want to Judge Your Honor, I just want to let you know that I know my probation is ending soon, but I'm not planning on leaving,
I see.
And the DA just like, hold on the record. He's like, on the record. He's like, Dakota, I'm gonna tell you this is what's gonna happen if you stay.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, your strike's gonna be gone. Dismiss your strike. He's like, I'll take off 5 felonies.
Really?
Take off your most recent 5 felonies. The only thing left on your record is gonna be possession of paraphernalia and possession or petty theft from 7 years ago. That's it.
Wow.
You know what I mean? My other strike's gonna be is from when I was like 11 years ago. I could potentially get that done with myself since I have never committed any violent felonies.
Violent, yes.
So that had happened, and so I was like, I just blown away, blessings after blessings. You know what I mean? And
that's awesome.
It's just amazing, bro. It's like when you finally surrender and when you finally surrender and stop doing things your way. I've been at a crash for about 9 months, dude. I've obtained 2 jobs. I'm about to be 18 months clean. I have a relationship with all my family members. I'm about to move out of sober living.
Nice.
I have a car. I have a steady job. It's like
nice, man.
It's amazing. You know what I mean? Life is beautiful. You know what I mean? And
man.
It's crazy how fast things could happen for us. When you really want it. You know what I mean? And
hell yeah, man.
It's amazing, bro. Life is just beautiful right now, for sure.
That's awesome, man. When is your clean date?
July 15th, 2024.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Nice, man. So awesome. I get to do all these like milestones, like real deal milestones, and get it knocked out within 18 months. You know what I mean? That's awesome.
And it's been a rough 18 months,
Oh, for sure.
And it's like,
it ain't no easy.
Really, the first 9 months of these 18 months were just disastrous. But it was like, I'm so grateful I had drug court, because drug court was a place where I was able to make mistakes and not just get a slap on the wrist. You know what I'm saying? Because like, say if I would have slid through drug court the whole time and made no mistakes and did everything I was supposed to do.
Right.
You know what I mean? And just fake the funk the whole time. It didn't address none of my underlying behavior problems.
Right.
Who knows? Like, I probably would have got out of drug court. I probably would have made some mistake, and I probably would have got high again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For sure. You know what I mean?
Fake the funk all the way through.
That's what they say. Just run a perfect program. That wasn't my intention not to run a perfect program. You know what I mean?
Right. You don't want to be.
But my behavioral problems were just so loud. You know what I mean? That like there was no hiding them, so I couldn't fake them. I was just too much of a mess. You know what I mean?
Well, it's good. It's
for
good
sure.
though, because
so now I'm very I never tell myself like I got this. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like the minute I say I got this, it's got me. You know what I mean? So I'm very adamant on like, I'm always very cautious of what I do. Try to be very hyper vigilant and aware of how I respond to things, how I move, and when my brain's working. Because being 18 months clean, I'm flooded with emotions that I've never felt still. You
Absolutely,
know what I mean?
dude.
And like, we were doing this, we were having a meeting, and there's a reading in the book that has something to do with the foundation, And I was like, damn it, like, I heard a lot of people sharing, like, I set this foundation and I built a strong foundation and this and that, And I'm thinking, I'm like, I I don't want to tell myself like I've set a foundation, like that was my foundations that's built that my whole house is standing on right now. I feel like, you know, I'm still building my foundation, you know, and even after I built that foundation, foundation takes maintenance, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Constant maintenance.
Constant.
You know what I mean? So when I do build my empire on top of it, you know, I need to maintain that, you know what I mean? And I feel like that's what the step work is,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? That's what
Absolutely.
helping other people is, you know, that's what
Right.
working on myself every day, you know, being focused on productive self-development daily. Like it doesn't, this is where it begins and it never ends, you know what I mean? It never ends, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you know, my addictive mind was like, push off the podcast. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whatever.
I got that vibe. Just played.
Just push it up. But like, you know, but I woke up this morning, I was like, nah, can't do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you know, this helps me, you know what I mean? And it's like,
yeah.
it's like, all this type of stuff, you know, it's like maintaining my foundation that I'm building right now. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's very, very important to know that, like, you know, we don't ever stop building our foundation or maintaining it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, man. I'm just, life is so good right now. It's just, it's crazy, you know? And yeah, bro, it's just, yeah, shout out to Cricket Saints and Dollface Club.
Yeah,
man.
hell yeah. Shout out
them.
Travis and Claire.
Travis and Clay, man, saved my life for real.
Fuck yeah.
I love them, bro.
Fuck yeah,
For real.
man.
You know
Absolutely.
what I
I
mean?
love them too. They're awesome, man.
Everything that they do, man, and everything that you do too, you know?
Thank you. Appreciate
everything
that.
that you do, bro. That
Appreciate it.
you know that like I push that fuck fentanyl stuff tough, you know, because that's just real, you know.
Absolutely.
You know, I've had to OD my son's mom pregnant with my son over 30 times, or OD or save her from ODing. You know what I mean? 30 times when she's pregnant with my son, you know, and like, you know, and that's gnarly. You know what I mean? And just fentanyl, I'm so passionate about, you know, fuck fentanyl because it's just so detrimental, bro. It's just so, man, I appreciate you and everything you do,
absolutely.
You know, and
absolutely, I appreciate your support, dude.
Bring that awareness to the community is huge, you know.
Thank you.
You know, I try to when I work, you know, I try to have these, you know, I'm a BHT, so like I'm around the clients a lot more than just the counselors and stuff, you know.
Sure.
So I work in the detox.
Yeah.
So a lot of these people they're brand new to recovery, and depending on how we interact with them, I feel like that's kind of sets the tone for them in their recovery. You know what I mean? Like of how attractive they see it, and like and all that. You know, so like so when I go to work, I'm not just there signing a clipboard. I really try to have like these therapeutic interventions with them all the time. You know,
absolutely.
And I feel like that's very important. You know, and I don't know. I just feel like I do share a lot about like, you know, listen to the Fuck Fentanyl podcast, you know.
Fuck yeah.
Look at the Cricket Saints podcast. Look at the Dollface podcast, and you know, what do you know? Now all of them want Fuck Fentanyl shirts and Cricket Saints shirts, and they want to belong to a community that really is doing something for this community. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
You know, I just feel like it's very important to have people like you, Clea, and Travis.
Yeah.
You know, for those addicts that are still suffering. You know, because it makes it attractive to want to do better. You know what I mean?
Fuck yeah, dude.
So yeah, thank you.
Hell yeah, thank you, bro. I really appreciate you again, man, for coming on and sharing your story, dude. And I think you're an awesome dude, man. And I'm really glad I got to meet you at the ranch and and you know and see your little journey.
Yeah,
quite a journey.
Yeah,
but man, I mean, I love to get you back on here and get more updates and stuff like that about you. And it'd be awesome, dude.
Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah, bro. Appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Goodbye, everybody.